Well, it's about 20 after 7. Been walking for about 10 minutes, if that. Of course, there was the situation of the people talking in front of the shelter after dark. I said something and they finally dispersed. And about 15-20 minutes later, that rain came that maybe you could hear in the darkness on the tin roof of the shelter. That went on for about an hour or so. And then at 4 o'clock, a couple people in the shelter got up in the dark and packed up and left, but it took them forever to pack up, like an hour, constantly crinkling bags and stuff and just keeping everybody awake. And then Miss Negativity, I'll call her, she came over to the table, started cooking and yakking, and then it's like, okay, 6:15. I guess I'll get up. And I'm out a little bit earlier than normal. Everything's damp. I think it's a partly cloudy sky, partly clear, no sun yet, and 18 miles today. The first hill, the biggest, it's about 4 miles to the peak, so it can be a good 2-hour workout. Start off the day, and then one more hill after that, but not very big, at least not in comparison. And we're going into bear problem country, so there are going to be bear boxes for our food bags. I think there were 3 stuck food bags today, mine and another fellow's not being one of them. So I helped out at least on one of them. And yep, people already gone their tent site with a dry spot. I guess they quietly packed up and left. I appreciate that. I wish I could be so good with the idea of the tent in the rain and packing up and moving on so quickly and easily. I guess I'll have to at some point. But shelter life may have a pro when it comes to rain, but I've got plenty of negatives. So I guess I'll endure a little bit longer. Sure, many of the people who were there last night will be at the shelter tonight. Some racing to get ahead, so there's a spot in the shelter. Others can't because they're very slow. So we'll see when I get there. Hello. they added that bear box because there's a bear problem happening right around here at the shelter at the moment. Also, when I walked into the shelter, and there was Square Peg and the other guy that left this morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I kind of jokingly asked, "Oh, you're leaving this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning too?" And the crinkling of the plastic, and anyway, that wasn't such a problem. He said, "Well, it's shelter life, and if you sleep lately, you shouldn't be in a shelter and you can wear earplugs." And he was right, so I didn't really argue that point. Anyway, a little bit later, the other guy, what's his name? Memorial. He's a little bit of hot wire. He really slagged into one of the two of them in a very bad way, bad chemistry, bad vibe at the shelter. I ended up talking with both of them, letting them know that I'm sorry that it came up and that shouldn't have gone that way, and they apologized. Well, they apologized first, actually, to me if they were too noisy or something like that. And I said, "No, I'm sorry I even brought it up. It wasn't really that big of a problem." The other guy, he went off the deep end, talking about ethics, about how early is too early, how late is too late to make noise, stuff like that. Anyway, it's all a little bit settled now, I think, but...
Which, by the way, watch out. Sunshine, he's been tagging all the posts for the past 50 miles. He does,
Oh, there's a man, Sunshine?
He keeps writing,
met 2
jump in the
female
envelope
Sunshines.
here. He keeps writing
Oh, yeah,
every
I've seen
sign.
that stupid
It's
thing.
fucking Brentley. He's an asshole.
Anyone who writes on everything is kind of an asshole,
He's
I
just,
think.
I keep on hoping he's just so far ahead of me I can't possibly catch up, and then I'll walk into like a hostel and there he is. And fuck.
Yeah.
My brother, before we left, was like, he was like, "When are you guys gonna get trail rivals?" And I was like, "I don't think that's really a thing, dude." And he's like,
That's kind of sweet, though.
"Yeah, well,
Your trail nemesis.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think that's really a thing, but I like that concept so much that. So every once in a while he'll text me and be like, "Have you made
I've got a
any
trail
enemies yet?"
nemesis. That,
Who is it?
That fucking ukulele guy, Mike or NASA. Pick a fucking name.
The one with
NASA's
the
your
seven years.
nemesis?
He's the fucker that stole my cigarettes and hit my fucking card for like $80. That day I took a zero. I didn't tell you that.
No, because I've met him and I liked him.
Wait, the guy with the sandals and the...
Yeah. I gave him. I took a zero.
He gave me Cheez-Its.
That strikes me as the kind of thing he'd do, like, completely not intending to, because he just seems happy about cheese or...
No, I gave him my card. So I took him a zero, and he's like, "I'm going to give beer." I'm like, "Well, here, take this card, and pick up a 12-pack, and give me like 3 packs of cigarettes, right?" No, he goes up there. He charges doesn't bring back any beer. Brings me back 2 candy bars and 2 packs of cigarettes, and then he charged my card like $79. He comes out with 2 bags of food, and I'm like, "You got the receipt?" And he's like, "No, I forgot the receipt, man. Don't worry about it." And then,
Don't worry about it.
and then,
It's chill, man.
and then, I had to go pee, so he went up and he was laying up there in
Don't
the
give
middle.
people your card, man.
And
Yeah,
then
don't
he
do
sat there, and this other gal named Summit was sitting behind the shelter, and I went out the shelter, and I was going up the little road to go pee, and he jumped off there, he rummaged through all my stuff, found my cigarettes, took my cigarettes out of my pack that he just bought me,
How'd you know it was him?
because Summit run up the way up there, like, "Don't kill him," because I just seen him kill deer
Alright,
stuff.
so he bought you cigarettes,
And then he
plus
took the
charged a
pack.
bunch of other shit,
Yeah.
then stole the cigarettes
Yeah.
that he had just bought you.
And then I get to the next shelter, and this gal's like, first thing I can't believe how much food that NASA guy's got now. Was like the first thing. It was the first thing I heard when I got to the next shelter, and then I called up the card, and yeah.
Oh boy.
We can set aside competition and hierarchies and stuff. We can just share the wonders of existence together. You know, and that's pretty awesome.
So one more question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to finish this trail first time, first everything. I've only been hiking, today's day, my day 33.
Yeah.
I can do the miles, I got the heart for it,
Yeah.
like no problem.
Yeah.
I need to finish this thing. What's the number one thing I gotta do?
Okay, so let me tell you a little story.
Yeah.
The first time I hiked the AT was 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed at the hiker hostel down in Georgia near Springer Mountain.
Yep.
Yep. I rode in their shuttle to the southern terminus. Now, as I was riding in that shuttle, I found myself thinking about a statistic. The fact that only 20% supposedly of hikers who start the Appalachian Trail make it to the end.
Curious to live in part of my French, the fuck out of me.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
That's what I'm up against.
I thought about that number,
Mm-hmm.
and then I looked around my bus, and I saw, at least 10 people there, and I was like, 8 of these people are not going to make it, And I found myself thinking, okay, what are the variables? What's going to account for who gets there and who doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay? And the things that made sense to me at the time were age,
Yep.
physical fitness,
Yep.
okay, gear,
Yep.
and preparedness as revealed through conversations.
Yeah.
Okay? You know which of those variables mattered?
None of them.
None. They didn't matter at all. There was exactly one variable that mattered in the end. Whether people fell in love with the lifestyle. The people who fell in love with the lifestyle, the people who just liked being out here, the people who just took joy in hanging out in camp, the people who, laughed when it rained and when their feet got all muddy, or when they stubbed a toe, those were the ones who found a way to make it work. Whereas the people who didn't love it, they eventually went home. That's it. My advice to you in the end, therefore, is just have fun. Seek joy. Yep.
Oh boy.
What was that?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sure.
I could tell that's not the answer you were looking for. But
Yeah.
in my experience, that's what really matters. I had a friend, Melanie Harsha, Peanut. She hiked the AT in 2016. Okay, she was not a particularly strong hiker. She started having hip pain around Harper's Ferry. Okay, I saw her again in New England, lower New England, Massachusetts. It was really hurting her by then. Okay, then I saw her again in upper New England, just south of Maine, and by that point she was in a heck of a lot of pain. Okay,
Yeah.
she got to Katahdin, she summited. Okay, she went back, saw her doctor, and she learned that she had a stress fracture in her hip. She had walked 1,100
The
miles
stress fracture.
with
That's badass.
basically a broken hip.
Yeah.
But that was not a problem for her. She was able to get through that simply because she loved her friends. She loved the community. She thoroughly enjoyed the experience of being out here. And as a consequence, the pain wasn't enough to send her home. That's the power that finding joy in the experience can have. It can allow you to overcome anything and to do so with a smile on your face. Yep.
Cool beans, man.
Did you meet the bionic woman?
Good.
No, I haven't.
I hiked with her in 15.
Okay.
18 months before she